I'm Jason Bovada, and these are my 2023 NFL Week 1 picks. Okay, so we're still in the middle of the preseason. We've been through 2 weeks of the preseason, and the NFL Week Season 1 starts in about 2 weeks, but we're going to get some of these against the spread and Moneyline picks in early. The first game of NFL Week 1 2023 season will be the Detroit Lions on the road versus the Kansas City Chiefs. I like the Kansas City Chiefs to win this game, but because, this is going to be a large parlay, I'm just going to take the Kansas City Chiefs on a money line. I don't mind taking 6.5. If it was 7.5, I would be a little bit more worrisome, but I do think the Chiefs should be able to beat the Detroit Lions by 7 points. In other bets, I'm going to take the Chiefs against the spread up to like 7 to 7.5 points. But for this specific parlay, I'm just going to take the Chiefs to win the game at home to open NFL Week 1. The next game, we're going to have the Arizona Cardinals versus the Washington Commanders. I believe the Commanders just named Sam Howell as their starter. A little risky there. I'm not too crazy about the Arizona Cardinals. A lot of people were saying that they're tanking this season. So I'm not going to take the Washington Commanders against the spread. They've had a little bit of coaching problems going on there. But I'll take the Washington Commanders to win the game on a money line. That seems like a safe, easy bet. The next game is going to be the Atlanta Falcons versus the Carolina Panthers. I'm a Atlanta Falcons fanboy. I just have to admit it. I like their team. I like a lot of their offensive players, and I like their quarterback. I think they have a lot of weapons on offense. So if you're going to give me 3.5 points at home for the Atlanta Falcons, I'm actually going to take the Atlanta Falcons minus 3.5 at home to defeat the Carolina Panthers against the spread. That seems like a fair bet. The next line is going to be the Cincinnati Bengals -2 on the road versus the Cleveland Browns. Now, this is kind of a risky bet, right? You would think Cleveland, being at home, should be the favorites. We still don't know if Joe Burrow is going to play NFL Week 1. I'm going to say right now, obviously, we're still 2 weeks from the beginning of the season. Either way, I'm going to take the Cleveland Browns +2 at home. From what I understand, Joe Burrow has defeated the Browns maybe one time out of 4 or something like that. I know he hasn't defeated them too many times. So I'm looking at it like, if he's injured, I don't know if Vegas is caught up on this line yet. I expect this line to move a lot more, heading up to NFL Week 1. But right now, I'm assuming that Joe Burrow is not going to play NFL Week 1. So I'm going to take the Cleveland Browns +2 at home. I'll take them. Why not? The next game is going to be the Houston Texans versus the Baltimore Ravens. There's very few teams I'm going to bet -9 points for the Baltimore Ravens. I can't, I like them, but, I think it was last season, didn't they lose to the Miami Dolphins after having like a huge lead? I think they lost to the Buffalo Bills at home after having a huge lead. So I'm not going to, go too far with that. They probably will win this game. I'm not too crazy about the Houston Texans offensive players. They have a rookie starting this season, so this is not a great game to start versus the Ravens on the road. But I'm just going to take the Ravens on a money line, right? I'm not going to give 9 points for the Baltimore Ravens in too many games this season. The next game, Jacksonville Jaguars versus the Indianapolis Colts. I think the safe bet here would probably be to take the Jacksonville Jaguars on a money line, right? I'm not too crazy about the Colts. I think it just came out today that they're trying to trade their running back. They fired their coach. They don't have a quarterback. I don't know what's going on with the Indianapolis Colts. We're just going to have some fun. I'm just going to take the Jacksonville Jaguars -3.5, right? I'm not too crazy about this bet, but I do like what Jacksonville Jaguars are doing. I think they're going to probably start this season saying, like, listen, it wasn't a fluke last season. We went to the playoffs. We went deep in the playoffs. We should not be losing to a team like the Indianapolis Colts. So if you're going to say -3. If it was -2.5, that would probably be one of my best bets of this season, right? Like, I would definitely be hammering the Jacksonville Jaguars. But you know what? We're trying to have a little bit of fun here. I'm trying to get a few against the spread bets. So I'm going to take the Jacksonville Jaguars -3.5. Like I said, probably safer to take the Jacksonville Jaguars on the money line in this game, right? Even if it was like 2.5. But we're just having some fun. Maybe in 2 weeks, when we get closer to the beginning of the NFL season, I'll do another parlay, and I probably will just take Jacksonville in on a money line. But for this parlay, let's have some fun. Let's get some against the spread bets in there. I'm going to take the Jacksonville Jaguars to defeat the Indianapolis Colts by at least 4 or 5 points, right? Next game is going to be the Las Vegas Raiders versus the Denver Broncos. When I first saw this number, I remember the number was +4 points for the Las Vegas Raiders. I saw the preseason game this weekend. I believe Jimmy Garoppolo was starting for the Raiders. Jimmy Garoppolo is a winner. Say whatever you want to say about him. I'm not too crazy about the Denver Broncos. I think they're completely overhyped. I still think they are the worst team in that division. So for that reason, if you're going to give me 3.5 points for a division game where I think I personally still think that the Las Vegas Raiders have way better offensive players than the Denver Broncos, I'm going to take the Las Vegas Raiders +3.5 points on the road versus the Denver Broncos, right? That's a big bet, right? That's an interesting one. Next game is going to be the San Francisco 49ers versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. Man, this is a game. Truthfully, this is a game I probably want to skip it, right? I don't know what to do with this bet here. 49ers on the road. Pittsburgh at home +2.5. You know, I really like the receiver Pickens. I like the quarterback for the Steelers, Pickett. But the 49ers defense is really good. Man, I feel like they should probably win this game. This is a tough one. Like, I'm doing this in real time. This game is in 2 weeks. What should we do here? What should we do with the 49ers and the Steelers? It seems, I really don't know, man. I really got to be honest. I think I'm going to skip it. I got to skip it. I didn't want to skip any games here. You know, I'm not, it's really too hard of a call. You know, was last year a fluke with the 49ers with Purdy, you know, and how good has Pickett gotten this offseason with the Steelers? I think there's just too many questions with both teams. Obviously, the 49ers have a way better offense than the Steelers, I believe. You know, probably more people are going to be betting heavy on the 49ers as their favorites on the road. But for this parlay, I did want to try to jump out the window and try to make picks on every game. But you know what? Honestly, I have no idea who's going to win this game. I can't see that game. It's going to be a fun game. Probably one of the best games to watch NFL Week 1. But I can't make it. Honestly, I can't make a pick. I can't make a pick. The next game, we have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on the road versus the Minnesota Vikings. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, I'm not too crazy about their quarterback, Mayfield being their quarterback. You know, I think this is going to be clearly a rebuild season. And, you know, with Mayfield as their quarterback, I think next season may be their, you know, starting rebuilding. So I'm going to take the Minnesota Vikings. I cannot take the Minnesota Vikings against the spread in this game. I just can't. They lost way too many offensive weapons, but they still have a way better offense than the Buccaneers. So I'm just going to take the Minnesota Vikings on the money line. I feel like that seems like a safe bet, right? Maybe the Buccaneers keep this game close. You know, who knows how do the Minnesota Vikings look without their receiver, look without their running back, Cook, who I believe just signed with the Jets. So for this bet, you know, NFL Week 1, you know, who knows how far games are going to go. I'm just going to take the Minnesota Vikings at home to win the game on a money line. Next game is going to be the Tennessee Titans versus the New Orleans Saints. This is another game that I'm looking at skipping. I'm not crazy about the Tennessee Titans. We never know what's going on. Henry didn't have a great season last year. Kamara is not playing for the Saints this year. Derek Carr is now the quarterback for the Saints. How much is it a revenge game? How much were the Raiders right for benching Derek Carr? If he didn't really have much success with his best friend from college, Devontae Adams, how much success is going to have with the Saints? The Saints are known for always having like a great road home record, so they probably should win this game. I feel like I just convinced myself to take the Saints at home. You know what? Let's take the Saints at home, right? They did pick up Williams from Detroit last season. He's a great running back. And like I said, the Saints are kind of known for just winning games at home. I'm not going to take them against the spread. -3 points. It's fine. That's not too bad. But we'll see how good Derek Carr is. He's not a bad quarterback. But the Saints at home, just take the Saints at home. It's fine. Next game will be the Green Bay Packers versus the Chicago Bears. This is kind of an easy bet for me. I got to take the Chicago Bears. I'm going to take the Chicago Bears -2.5 at home. I'm not too crazy about Jordan Love. I believe he only started one game for the Green Bay Packers, but I believe that game was versus the Kansas City Chiefs. If I'm wrong, you could correct me. And I thought he got a lot of crap for that game. It's just like, first of all, he's playing the Kansas City Chiefs, and it wasn't that bad of a performance. But I think the Bears are going to be pretty locked in this season. They finally see a division championship in their sights. I think they probably could be the best team in that division. And I think a home game versus your rivals, the Green Bay Packers, is a great way to start the season. I'm taking the Chicago Bears -2.5 at home to start the season to defeat the Green Bay Packers. Maybe I'm crazy, but let's do it. The next game will be the Los Angeles Rams versus the Seattle Seahawks. Not much to say here. Seattle at home is, really, really tough to defeat. Rams, after their championship, I don't think they've won a single game. I have no idea what happened to the Rams after that championship. They have not looked the same. I don't know if Stinson Bennett is the starting quarterback for them. I have no idea, but I would imagine at some point this season, he's probably going to be starting for this Los Angeles Rams. I think they're going to start the season off pretty bad on the road versus the Seattle Seahawks. I'm not going to take Seattle Seahawks -5 at home. I don't think it's a bad bet. But I do think the Rams have a good enough defense to keep this game between like 3-4 points. So I don't want to give the Seattle Seahawks too many points to have to win. Whereas I think they most likely will win this game at home. So I'll just take Seattle Seahawks, at home on a money line situation. Next game is going to be the Miami Dolphins versus the Los Angeles Chargers. I think Tua played this preseason game this weekend. I think his first pass was an interception. And last week when I saw this number, the number was it was +2 for the Dolphins. And I think I took +2 for the Dolphins like a few weeks ago. That bet looks pretty bad now. The line is starting to move heavy for the Chargers. I want to jump on this line before it moves up even more. I'm going to take the Chargers -3 points versus the Miami Dolphins. I'm not too crazy about the Miami Dolphins. Injuries, I'm not too crazy about their defense. Playing on the road versus the Chargers in a division that, probably the Chargers they could be the second best team in that division, even though they have not been the second best team in a very long time. I think this is the season for the Chargers to finally make the playoffs and say that they really are at that level that Justin Herbert has been put at for a very long time. I think the Chargers are the second best team in that division. They shouldn't be losing home games versus the Miami Dolphins to start the season. So I'm going to take the Chargers -3 at home, right? Probably crazy, but like I said, when I first made this bet, it was +2 for the Miami Dolphins. I took the Dolphins. Tua threw an interception on his first play of the game in the preseason. Now the line is -3. I'm switching my pick. I'm jumping on the Chargers early. Just to put the point out there, when I make my closer to NFL Week 1 picks, I'm most likely going to take the Chargers on a money line. I think it'll probably be an easier bet, but we're trying to get some against the spread bets here, and also making mention of, some line movement. So if you see this video now and then in 2 weeks, the Chargers are or -4 or -5, you could tell that, okay, Vegas and heavy sports betting, heavy smart money has been coming in heavy on the Chargers in the last few weeks. Like I said, last week it was -2, now it's -3. I think I'm kind of agreeing with what everyone else is saying, that maybe Tua is not the quarterback that Miami needs. Maybe, this could be his last chance for them if he does not have a good season. Coming in the preseason, throwing an interception on your first play, he's going to get some more chances in NFL Week 3 preseason. He's probably going to play a half, but I don't think he's going to do enough to convince me that, they're going to go into the Chargers and defeat the Chargers. So I'll take the Chargers -3, right? Why not? Okay, now this is interesting. Philadelphia Eagles -4.5 versus the New England Patriots. I personally jumped on the line early for the Eagles -5, and now the line is down to -4.5. So maybe in a few weeks, when this line gets closer, I probably will just take the Eagles on a money line, right? But we're trying to have some against the spread bets. I'm not too crazy about the Patriots. They look, they're not going to give us too much in the preseason, but I think the Eagles are that good. They're going to have problems with other teams in this division, like the Buffalo Bills, maybe the New York Giants. I do not expect the Philadelphia Eagles, who just went to the championship versus the Kansas City Chiefs, to have too many problems with the New England Patriots. I think the Eagles going to New England saying that, listen, we're trying to head right back to the Super Bowl, and I think they defeat the Patriots by more than 4.5 points. So I'm going to take the Eagles -4.5 points. Next game will be the New York Giants +3.5. The Dallas Cowboys -3.5 on the road versus the New York Giants. I'm jumping on the New York Giants +3.5. Dallas Cowboys every single season I'm not going to say overhyped. It's just, come on. How many division games? Let's really think about this. How many division games do you see a team on the road favored by 3.5 points? The Giants don't have that many. They don't have any injuries like that on their starting teams. So I don't see why everybody's betting on the Cowboys like that. People are underrating the Giants. I'm going to jump on the Giants +3.5 at home, right? Even if they lose by a field goal. I think the Giants keep this game close. I think the Giants probably win this game. So truthfully, I may, in a few weeks, take the Giants to win this game +150 on a money line. Should I do that? No, we don't want to go that far, right? Maybe I should do that, right? How about that? You know what? Let's do that, yeah. And then in a few weeks, I'll take the Giants +3. But I personally think the Giants are going to win this game. So Giants at home, I'm not even going to take the points. I'm going to take the Giants to win the game at home. First money line team, underdog money line team at home. We're going to take that. And then the final game of NFL Week 1. What are we doing here? Like I said, we're in the middle of the preseason. We have not seen too much from starting quarterbacks from any team, really. I don't think Aaron Rodgers has even played one snap in the preseason. Maybe I'm wrong. I have no idea. But I'm expecting him to play a few snaps in the preseason game week 3, right? I would imagine this weekend he'll probably play a few games. But you know what? I'm not too crazy about the Buffalo Bills. I'm clearly not. I think the Jets have a crazy offense. I really do. Jets at home. Maybe it's the New Yorker in me. I'm not going to take the Jets to win this game, but if you're going to give me 2, if this was 3 points, I would be hammering the Jets. But you know what? I do think the Jets probably win this game. I'm going to take the Jets +2 points at home versus the Buffalo Bills. Not the greatest pick in the world. I just kind of said the same thing with Dallas versus New York. How many teams in the same division, do you see favorites on the road, by 2 points, 3.5 points? So I'm going to jump on the Jets. Like I said, I believe they just signed Dalvin Cook, the running back. They have great wide receivers. They have a pretty good defense. I'm going to take the Jets to win this, not to win this game. I'll take the plus 2 points for the Jets. Even though it's a Monday night game, we could hit all of these other parlays and then have the Jets lose by 35 points. But if that happens, it's fine. I'm still going to take the Jets. I'm going to take the Jets. Probably in 2 weeks, I probably will stay away from this game, right? If, looking at preseason NFL week 3, if Rodgers comes in, doesn't have a great game, but if he does have a great game, I would not be surprised if this line moves to +1 or maybe even, right? It could be an even money game for the Jets at home versus the Buffalo Bills. But it's a Monday night game, so you can imagine there's going to be a lot of money on this game. So the line may not move I don't think it's going to move 2 points, but we'll see. I'm going to take the Jets plus 2.5 at home Monday night to end NFL Week 1. Okay, wow, we got 15 picks. Is there one game? I think I skipped the 49ers. Yeah, I skipped the 49ers. Should I just make a random pick for this game? Like I said, I just have no edge. I really have no edge for the 49ers and the Steelers. So I'm going to skip it. Okay, so we have a 15-pick parlay. This is a plus 320,767, right? We're taking the Washington Commanders money line. We're taking the New Orleans Saints money line. We're taking the Seattle Seahawks money line. We're taking the Las Vegas Raiders +3 on the road. We're taking the Baltimore Ravens on the money line. We're taking the Jacksonville Jaguars -3.5. We're taking the Atlanta Falcons -3.5 against the spread. We're taking the Minnesota Vikings on the money line. We're taking the Cleveland Browns +2 against the spread. We're taking the Los Angeles Chargers -3 against the spread. We're taking the New York Giants. How about that? I really like this pick. We're taking the New York Giants at home on the money line. We're taking the Chicago Bears -2.5 against the spread. Excuse me. We're taking the Philadelphia Eagles -4.5 against the spread. We're taking the New York Jets +2. Like I said, in 2 weeks, I'm probably not going to take this bet because it's a Monday night game. This is like a singles bet, seriously. And then the first or last pick we're going to take is the Kansas City Chiefs on the money line. That seems like the easiest pick of this week. How much are we going to risk? Let me see. We're going to risk like $3 and we'll risk $3.29 to win $10,553.25. Okay, let's put that bet in. NFL Week 1, right? Still 2 weeks away. Okay, so there you have it. Those are my 2023 NFL Week 1 picks. Seattle Seahawks on the money line. Las Vegas Raiders +3.5. Baltimore Ravens on the money line. Jacksonville Jaguars -3.5 against the spread. Atlanta Falcons -3.5 against the spread. Minnesota Vikings on the money line. Cleveland Browns +2 points against the spread. Los Angeles Chargers -3 points against the spread. Who else? New York Giants. Taking the New York Giants on a money line, right? We're taking the Chicago Bears -2.5 against the spread. The Philadelphia Eagles -4.5 against the spread. The New York Jets +2 points. And we're going to take the Kansas City Chiefs on a money line to start the NFL Week 1. Let me know, what are your NFL Week 1 picks? Who are your favorites? Who are your favorites? Who's your favorite home team? Who's your favorite road team? What's your lock of the week? Who's your underdog pick of the week? And which games are you looking forward to most? I got to be honest, obviously, with it being NFL Week 1, I'm looking forward to every game. There's a lot of hype behind the Detroit Lions. Can they go to Kansas City and defeat Kansas City? Obviously, the Jets versus the Bills, that's going to be fun. The Eagles versus the Patriots, you got to watch that. The Bears versus the Packers, how good is that going to be? The Giants versus The Cowboys, Chargers game versus Miami, and we'll see what happens there. The Cleveland Browns versus Cincinnati. If Joe Burrow is not playing that game, how hard can we really judge that game? Minnesota at home, not too crazy about that game. Atlanta Falcons, we'll see about that. Jacksonville versus the Colts, that should be an easy game for Jacksonville. Baltimore versus the Texans, that should be an easy game. Las Vegas Raiders versus Denver. Being a Las Vegas resident, this is going to be fun watching Las Vegas versus Denver. Seattle home versus the Rams. We'll see about that. Saints, no one really cares. Commanders, no one really cares. But I'm Jason Bovada. These are my 2023 NFL Week 1 picks. These are not my only picks. I will be doing teasers. I will be doing Moneyline picks. I will be doing a lot more parlay picks of 2 and 3 teams. This is just my overall thoughts of every game this NFL Week 1, right? Just my picks. I'm not gonna only bet $3 for NFL Week 1. We're gonna have a lot more solo or single picks, and we'll have a lot more smaller picks, and we'll have a lot more teaser picks, right? Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the $1 donation button, and please tune in to the next video on this channel. Thanks a million for watching.